guest is here.
All right.
Here you go. You sit right here.
Yeah. We bring the guests in right in the middle. So
Yeah, right in the middle.
You don't get no
introduction.
you don't get no you don't get no prep time.
Our staff is a little busy right now, so.
Okay. How you doing? No, you're good.
No,
you're
all right.
good.
You're all right.
You look
You're all
good.
right.
I look real crisp. I'm short. Hold on.
There you go.
So, if you could put the mic as close as you can to you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, we gotta. I don't know why people are scared of the mic. They're like talking, and then you can't hear them. Like you got to get like.
Yeah, real close.
Check.
Real
check.
close.
You say
That's
check.
fine.
Check 1 2 1 2.
Check 1 2.
I was like listening to
All right,
myself
cool.
last week. I was like obsessed with that last week. I was like, keep on. I was like, Mara, get your face closer to the mic.
Yeah,
I was like,
So,
I'll be the mic guy. All right.
your name is
My name is Chika,
Chika.
also known as Call Me Skitzo.
Call me
Come
Skitzo.
on.
So I was looking up your YouTube page earlier today. I didn't realize we were having a guest.
Okay.
And so I found out today,
Yeah.
and I was looking. I was like, oh, she's kind of funny.
You know?
And so I checked out your Instagram account and your YouTube videos.
Yeah, I'm
And
goofy.
so this is Mario.
Yeah, let me
ahead.
like a quick briefing of how we met. Like I said earlier, I'm in the verge of selling my parents' property, and so I think she contacted my father because my parents have like a for sale sign in front,
Yeah.
and then my dad was like, "Hey, my son is selling it for me. You got to call my son." So she calls me, and then so I was just telling her like, "Hey, look, I'm my parents like." The roof is like messed up, so you can't get an FHA or conventional loan. I'm gonna have to sell it to another investor. And then she was like, okay, well, that's fine. She was like real, she had like a lot of energy. And she was like, oh, well, if you're an investor, can we meet up and talk business? I was like, okay, that's cool.
Bam.
So we met up, and then, we're talking. We talked for like 2 hours.
Whoa.
And then, so I'm just like, okay. And then she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm a comedian as well, and I have like 254,000 subscribers and followers."
I didn't tell you. I just let you see it.
And then, man, my eyes lit up. I was like, "Really?" When she
it takes
told
a lot of work to get to that.
yes,
Yeah.
So when she told me that, I was like, "Okay, well, because I think I was gonna have my barber come on." I was like, okay, well, I'll just tell him he can come on another time, and I'll just have you come
Mario.
on.
So you kick the
Mario.
barber
I know
off.
you put it on blast right there. All right.
Hey,
Man, he keeping it real too. He said once he saw you had 250,000, he was like, "All right, you coming on the show."
Yeah, I'm
I
real.
don't know about before that, but no, I'm just kidding.
So the barber doesn't even want to come no more.
Man, I don't think he wants to come anymore. I think he got hurt. I think he's hurt.
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow.
So you're a licensed
We'll
realtor.
edit that out.
Yes, I am.
Okay, and so this is Mario.
This is my boy Ron B. Follow me. This is Josh in Texas.
Yes.
Okay.
So Mario's a full-time investor, and we're part-timers and wannabes.
Yeah.
One
So,
of these.
yeah.
I'm with him.
Entrepreneur.
me too.
I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
It sounds.
Yeah. So I don't know if did you get a chance to look at any of the other podcasts?
Oh yeah, I did.
Okay,
I did.
cool. All right,
I
so
did.
you have a little background.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
awesome. So earlier before you came on the show, we were talking about wholesaling, contracts. Mario was talking about LLCs. We were talking about how to find properties to wholesale, and so give us tell us a little about your background and your take on.
Okay.
And then from the beginning, like after high
Yeah.
school, I was
Right.
telling everybody after high school.
Wow,
Okay.
man, you always like.
Yeah, like
How-
I want to hear like the come up. Like
How old are you?
Oh, I'm grown.
We are old.
Okay, I'm 31.
Okay,
31.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah, I'm the baby. Okay, so from the beginning, and the reason why he talks about this because I'm a girl with of many talents.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
I saw that,
It's
yeah.
like how would I say? It's a blessing and a curse. But coming from high school, went to University of Houston, and then towards the end. I got excited. I met, had some friends who are, doing other things. You do a lot of jobs. I was that girl who did a lot of jobs. I was in call centers. I worked for catering companies, blah, blah, blah. Until one day I just saw one of my friends who used to do like, DJ. And I was like, oh, yeah, how much you charging? And they're like, oh, yeah, they charged me $200. I was like, $200?
Yeah.
I said, oh, I need to get some equipment. Like, I'm tired of that. That's a paycheck right there. And, again, back in the day, you know, what minimum was like maybe 5, 6.
200 make you jump.
Huh? Yeah, 200 make you jump, you know?
Yeah.
So at that
jump.
point, and at least that's like what, a 4-hour gig. So to me, that's a lot of money.
$50 an hour.
Yeah. So I got my equipment and I became DJ Skitzo. And then from there, that's when I became a Go DJ. When Go DJs was popping, Party Boy DJ, when Rogers and them was doing it. So I became all that, and then I also got into graphics. So I also have my own thing on Instagram too, One Way Media. So I do graphics and flyers, logos, things like that. Got into that. And then by force, you kind of get into photography. And so I got me a camera. So I'm the type of person where if I'm interested, I'm going to just kind of get the equipment and play with it and try it out. And I just happen to be good at it. So
that's cool.
And then from there, but my dad has always been in some real estate. So it was something that I kind of had in the back of my head. Like, okay, my dad's in real estate. I kind of learned a little bit. Like, he had investment properties and rental properties, I'll say. And the person who really got me into, who put real estate in the back of my head outside of my dad, was my prom date. I didn't tell you this story.
Oh, you didn't tell me
My
this
prom
story.
date, because he was a realtor, because his dad was a realtor. And he was like, one time we were shopping around for like materials and things like that for our, our outfit.
How old was his prom date?
Huh?
I'm just kidding.
Well, look, but he was doing it. You know how you can still help out.
Yeah. I'm messing
Just
with
not
you.
under your.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So after that, we were going for materials and everything. He's like, well, before I go here, I need to go stop and look at these homes and da-da-da-da. And I was like, oh, there's some boss moves. Like, this is nice.
That's fly, yeah.
Opening doors, looking. I'm like, you just, okay. So from there, he kind of was slightly teaching me.
So you was impressed by him?
I was impressed by him, but I was impressed by something different. You know, because I feel like like you said, as entrepreneur, everybody's going to college, getting degrees. I get that, and I'm also Nigerian, so you can only imagine I'm only taught pharmacy, nursing, doctor. Those typical education.
Yeah.
So when you see somebody who's like, oh, okay, like you're a realtor, like what's that? And then actually he was talking about, oh, you can get into loan officer. And that was the first thing I kind of did. I actually tried to take the test, but I failed by like 2 points.
Oh, wow.
And I just didn't go back because I just took the, I don't know what school I went to, but I just tried it and studied by myself. Didn't tell nobody else doing it. And I tried. I think I missed. I could have went back and passed it, but at that point I started college, so I was like, forget it. So it's always been in the back of my head. I just didn't excel until after. And I'll say this is like my second year as an official real estate agent.
You're taking it seriously.
Taking it seriously. It's a learning process. I mean, I know when you talk to like any realtor who starts their first year, it's difficult because there's many little hustles that I have.
Oh yeah.
Real estate is not something that you can get quick. It's not hard as a DJ in college to say, hey, who got a pool party? Who has a kickback? Shoot, I even threw my first gig was my own house party. I just said, hey, I had a friend who has some speakers. Let's plug it up. Let's promote. Which was like a cool thing, and that's how some other promoters were like, okay, hey, let's have you DJ. But as far in the flyers, it's not hard to find somebody who needs some type of a design within 3 to 5 business day, situation. But a home.
Back in the day, that used to get good money for flyers.
No, you still can get a little good money.
Yeah.
You can get so good. That's actually still my main source of income. Cool. I mean, because now you have social media. It changed the game a little bit as far as back. If you know about In the Mix, everybody had the long flyers and everything like that, and wanted clutter and everything. But now promoters are getting smart and realizing, okay, I need to have multiple flyers. Not promoting all at one time, because once you start looking at other outside city flyers, you start realizing, okay, I'm just gonna promote the DJ on this flyer, promote the happy hour on that flyer, have a theme for this flyer. So right there, I'm like, okay, I can have package deals for you and design these different things if it's the same thing. So, but again, dealing with home buyers or sellers and things like that is a little bit different. It's a big investment, so people are you have to kind of hold people's hands and nourish them and guide them through the process and stuff like that.
You think it's something you're evolving towards?
Yeah.
Like maybe you wouldn't be able to do real estate full time when you were younger.
You think I wasn't able to do real estate?
Yeah, like what do you think is a process of self evolving?
Well, I mean,
to be good at it.
You went from DJ to real estate. That's like you went from.
Well, I even skipped the whole DJ to also graphic designing, and then call me Skitzo.
Call me Skitzo. Yeah.
And that just started
Yeah.
again just because I wanted to. I got a video camera, like a Canon 70D, so I wanted to learn how to start doing videos. So, and at the time, of course, I was watching people like King Carry-On and things like that, and I was like, oh, they're so goofy and funny. I was goofy funny too, so it's like, you know how you see things and you're like, oh, that inspires me. It'd be funny if somebody did it like this. Let me just practice recording on my own, and that would help me learn Final Cut and things like that. But I just happened to.
Is that what you're using Final Cut? You like it?
Final Cut. Yeah, it's good.
I just started learning how to.
Really?
Yeah, it's I love everything about creating, like a creator, like videos and stuff like that. So I figured I might as well learn how to do the editing part.
Right.
So like I've graduated from iMovie on your phone and your iPad. So now I downloaded Adobe Premiere Pro.
Okay.
And so I'm learning that, but I think I might switch to Final Cut because like I like how Apple integrates everything.
Okay.
So.
Do you have an Apple?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely. Final Cut is for Apple mainly. Premiere, I know a lot of people who have Premieres like through Windows and stuff like that. But I'm trying to learn how to play with Premiere because there's something about Premiere I kind of like. You can change dimensions, things like that. But you kind of pick whatever's your main craft that you want to kind of get into. But I mean, I feel like I evolved. I would say this, the way I even talk to my mom about it is like all the talents that I've gained throughout the time. I feel like it's very good tools that I can use in real estate.
I'm pretty sure your parents are kind of like my parents. Like my dad is real. Like hey, you need to work here for like 9 to 5. Like be an engineer, be a doctor, work for 30, 40 years. So how do your parents feel about like the call me Skitzo and then the realtor and stuff like that?
I would say. My parents support me regardless.
They do.
But I know that it's one of those things you have to kind of prove them
wrong. Yeah.
Again, they're going to sit there and be like, hey, and I understand that it's coming from a good place. They want to make sure that, hey, you're good. Like when we chunk the deuce, we want to make sure that you're taken care of. Yeah. So, I feel like I did my checkpoint by getting my degrees. I got 2 degrees.
Okay, that's
got
great.
up to
That's
my
good.
master's.
Yeah.
So at that point, it's like, okay, cool. That was helpful tools. But now it's like, okay, with the graphic designer, like, okay, you're being consistent. You're taking care of business. You're not asking for money. You're not asking for anything from us. So at that point, we cannot say, hey. And as we get older, you start realizing like, hey, it's 6 figures, 7 figures. We all like to make money, but does not mean that you make money, you're successful or you're happy.
Yep.
And I can tell that my parents understand. Okay, you're happy if that's what you want to do. You're creative. We see that that's your talent.
Yep.
If anything, they're more of like, we already knew you're a very creative, talented person. It's just that again, if parents only have one set ways, they can only teach you that way, and that's it. So.
That's right. That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you can't blame them. For
that's
pushing
all they want. That's
what
all they
know.
want is to see productivity. Yep. So cool. So how can you help somebody buy an investor to buy a house?
An investor.
Yeah.
So I would say that we also have this new program. I know some realtors haven't really been playing with it because it just kind of came out, but they have this program with the Remind. So we have access to kind of look at, they give an estimate, they are able to kind of look at their records. They have their own formula that they don't really express, but they have their formulas to where they can kind of gauge to see, okay, hey, where's equity? So as if somebody was like, hey, I'm looking to find homes or properties in this zip code or this particular neighborhood, then I can narrow things down to say, okay, hey, these homes look like they have equity, or this one, they just refinanced, so we might not want to mess with them right now, or they have a lot of details. They even got it to a point where they can kind of have a guesstimate on when they feel like somebody's ready to move. So it's really good to target for realtors as far as like, hey, if you're trying to, geofarm and you don't want to send 10,000 letters to this big area, that's kind of overwhelming to some people, especially in real estate. You already know that you can spend so much money. You're kind of afraid to just say, hey, I don't want to spend it and then not get a return. And whereas this one helps you systematically kind of narrow down your.
You think you have your marketing down?
No, I'm still, no. And I feel like you'll never, as much as you read and watch YouTube, it's like you need podcasts like this to kind of pick other people's brains because there's always new and better ways. And sometimes the ways you do know is like, okay, everybody's doing it. So if everybody's doing it, guess what? It's probably not as effective.
Do you plan on getting your broker's license?
Well, yeah, I have to wait, what,
3 years? It's
4
3.
years. Is it 3 now?
I thought it was 3.
I want to say it's 4. I want to say it's 4 years.
Okay.
before
they
you
made
can
it
even
now.
apply.
They made it now
three?
where you no. They made it now where to get a broker's license, you have to have a degree, right? And you have to be a licensed realtor for so long.
A degree in what?
A degree.
Just probably have a degree.
Yeah.
Oh, just a
That's-
general
It
degree?
used to be 2 years. 2. It's either 2 or 4. But it used to be just 2 years as a licensed realtor, and you took a test and you passed the test and you were a broker. I know that because my brother-in-law was a broker.
Right.
Yeah, man, I have a realtor. Hopefully he'll come on the show later on. He has his own realtor company.
No, we have a realtor.
No. But
Right.
he
Some broke-
When they ask you, "Are you working with a realtor?" Yes, yes, we are.
Right.
No, I'm just saying that because you get your broker's license and then you can start your own company and then he got like interns under him and he's making money off of them. And like I was just like, man, that's something you could do, and then you could just start stacking your money up and then just start investing and then start buying your own houses.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, I'm a mentor. I already told you, like, I'm a mentor you all day. You got any questions? Like, I
Right.
got you.
Right. And I feel like, again, being a broker is always, I think, a thing that anybody would like to get into. Because, again, now you just work for yourself. So you don't have to deal with any cuts with other brokers that you're under
exactly.
with. And then, like you said, now you can have agents under you. So if you want to have some type of, you make up your own fees, whatever you're comfortable with. So if you want to say, hey, I want 30% of your whatever deals you bring in, great. But one thing that I feel that is important, I'm more of a girl of, I like value. I don't like to just, it's not always about money. Because I feel like some people are about money. It's like, oh, I want to get all this cut. But what are you giving me? You know, if you're not offering anything, then I don't think everybody should be a broker.
Exactly.
You know, but I do agree that you could be a broker by yourself. And so now you can deal, like you said, now you handle everything now. Me trying to get into the investment game, that'd be great. I don't want to be under somebody once I kind of start owning properties.
Exactly.
But also with experience and being able to help other buyers and sellers, then from there, if I feel like I have a solid plan that I can teach, that's something that can be
Like
taught.
lead generation.
Yeah, that can be taught. Because the thing is, I feel like you come across other real estate agents where it's like, okay, this works for you, but not for me. You know,
I'm all for like there's a book I read, I don't know which book it is, that talked about paying professionals to do what they do. Let me give you an example. I have a friend right now that's just getting into real estate, right? And we'll bring him on the show and tell him a story later. But he's just getting into it. So he has a property that he renovated, and he's trying to put a renter in it, right? So in order to refi the property, the bank wants to see a rental contract, right? Okay. So because now it's an investment property as an income generating property versus a debt.
right.
So I want to say he was done renovated in April.
Okay.
Maybe end of March. So for some other circumstance, like I told him, I said, you should go list it on HAR and put a renter in it. And he didn't take my advice. And so he's trying to do it. I call it being cheap, right? You don't want to pay that. You don't want to pay that fee.
Right.
So you missed out on April, May, and June
2 months
worth of rent. That's 3 months.
3 months.
$1,400 a month. How much money you missed out on?
That's like what, $2,800 to
$3,500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
out of the year, you've basically lost out on a little over close to $4,000.
Exactly.
And and the whole name of the game in realtor as being a landlord or somebody who has rentals is to make every day that goes by in the calendar month, somebody needs to be in your houses. So like, to me, I was like, you've blown it. You should have already had a renter in there within 2 weeks. It's
That's
in the medical
crazy.
center.
yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. It's
So,
like,
wow.
there's this place should be rented out within
Yeah.
a week.
Is it a house or is it a condo?
It's a house.
Oh,
It's
really?
322.
Are you
It's like,
serious?
what do you,
Oh,
you know what I
okay.
mean? And then here's the other thing is like, what if you think it's worth $1,400 a month? What if
Yeah.
you put it on the market and a realtor says, I can get you 16?
Yeah, I get 16.
Yeah.
How much more money than net you throughout the year?
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, again, and that's the thing that you try to do. We're in the phase of now, and I watched a YouTube about it. They were saying that back in the day, it was like when people contacted a realtor, it's because they're ready to buy. Now, when people contact or if they talk to a realtor, it's because they're ready to learn.
Yeah.
So now, as realtors, we have to be educated and be willing to say, "Hey,
Educate
let
us.
me teach you, and this is why you should use us." Because I understand some people feel like, "Oh, I don't need no realtor; they're just gonna post it on the MLS." But
They ain't gonna sell it.
but that's not all we just do. You know, at least
Yeah.
a good realtor.
Yeah.
You know, there's
Yeah.
a lot of other process. There's a lot of footwork, you
Yep.
know, that one should make. But again, like you said, it's like you have to do that math. If I talk to a for sale by owner, which I was trying to talk to your dad, it was like, okay, what is your goal? Because again, try it yourself. I'm down. I'm not gonna be pressuring you. Try it for like 3 weeks. If you're not getting any bites, then you not need to look into this, because you have to tell yourself, it's like even when you're talking about stocks and things like that,
Yeah.
it's like they always tell you, do not get married into a company. Meaning, be like, if it's dropping, I'm like, oh, I'm so
Yeah.
invested, maybe it'll come back up. Then that's how you're gonna really lose money, because when it doesn't come back up, you can't get that money back. So and like you're saying, like 2-3 months goes by, now you're looking for somebody. Now
Yeah.
you have to give us a 30 days to kind of find somebody and
Yeah.
execute a contract. But we can't get you that 4,000.
There's another 14, 15, 1600 you miss out on because now you waited, and now you got to go get a realtor, and now you could have avoided that whole
Hold
scenario.
on. I mean, y'all can keep on.
All right.
I got some business. Hold on.
All right. So, how do you feel about working with investors?
You gotta take a real estate call.
No,
Me
I'm
work-
only saying that because
Yeah.
I said that. I think it was last week, a week that one of my friends is a realtor, and I said a lot of real estate agents don't like working with investors, and then she didn't like that. So I mean, that's what I'm always hearing.
And she said, did she agree with you or she didn't agree?
She didn't agree with me,
Yeah.
but I was thinking that they don't because a lot of people are wishy-washy. And I had to explain that to her, and she's like, yeah. So
Yeah. I mean, again, I don't think it's because everybody's wishy-washy. Buyers are wishy-washy.
yeah,
Sellers
no,
are
but I mean, like
yeah.
when somebody says, "Oh, I'm an investor. I haven't bought anything," but do you immediately think, "Oh my goodness, this person's gonna waste my time"?
No. I mean, again, I find value in anybody.
Okay.
It's like I might not make it. Like even when I was talking to him, my goal was to
That's
be,
good. I like that mindset, though.
Yeah,
That's
because it's like I told him, I was like,
Yeah.
hey, look, if you're not ready to sell, that's fine. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's just what it is.
Yeah.
But because he already kind of told me his background, like, hey, I get into this, I have this agent who can put on MLS for this flat
Yeah.
fee. Okay, you pick and choose who you want to work with. But like again, I'm also a girl with many talents, so it's like, okay, you may not use me as a realtor, but you may use me as your graphic designer for your properties or
Yeah.
things like that. But let's say I didn't have any of those things, I still need to know you, because what happens if I have a seller who's like, hey, like let's say the dad didn't have his son, then he's like, but I need somebody just to buy flat out. I need investors to say, hey, I can easily text and say, hey, I got this property. I have an investor ready. Can we work a deal? So even if it's a flat fee, you always got to find ways. How can we work?
I like how you said, as far as when he wanted to wholesale his deal, you said, what about a for sale by owner? Which, people don't even think like that. Can't even, that, hey, maybe you can sell it yourself and you can get what you want for it. Because, when you sell it for sale by owner, you can actually ask for a higher price than the market value because you're selling to people that can't get conventional loans. So I like that you said that.
But
So-
and again, that's
So
only
you
if
missed
you're
out, Mario. No, I'm just kidding. Go
thank
ahead.
I mean, and that's only if you're educated. Like, not every for sale by. I feel like a lot of people think they know what they're doing as well, and they don't.
No, I don't think anybody. But I mean,
Yeah.
how experienced are you with that as far as like the contracts? Would you automatically know what to do with the for sale by owner?
If they wanted to work with me,
Yeah.
well, I mean, if you want to work with me, then you become then now that's a listing.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean,
I think you're obligated to list it, right? Or do you
if
have
they
to?
want to work, if they want
Yeah.
to work with me,
Yeah.
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 So I mean, you just work out a deal. Now again, every agent has what works for them. Some
Yeah.
you have discount agents who are saying, "Hey,
Yeah.
I'm willing to do it for 1%, 2%,
Yeah,
whatever."
yeah.
Okay. Again, but you can't expect a lot from that agent
Yeah.
either.
There's got to be a reason for that. Like let's say if you have a customer or a client that is going to buy a new house, you're going to get a percentage off of that, right? And then you may say, well, we're also going to sell our existing house, and so sometimes they'll do deals.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
they'll combine the commission. I've seen realtors. I think a realtor sold you an investment property, right? The Katie house.
Yeah, my realtor, Mike, he got it from a divorce. It was like a divorce settlement house. He got it for $60,000, and the ARV was $169.
So what did you
Crazy
buy it
deal.
for? 60.
I got it for $62,500.
So was it bird dog type deal?
Man, it was like
You gonna get him in trouble?
crazy deal. Nah, I hope not. They sold it to him for a flat fee of $60,000.
The condition of the house isn't pretty bad.
Yeah,
though.
It was burnt,
yeah.
right?
It was,
Yeah.
it had fire damage.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
mean, that's cool. But I mean, my vision was like, this is Katie. I'm getting a house for Katie
Yeah.
and Katie for $60,000.
Yeah.
This was like,
No, it was. I mean, you did good. I saw the property afterward. I was impressed.
Yeah.
I saw the before and after, and it was. You did a lot of updates. So.
yeah, we did. Like the whole garage needed to be like.
But
a
it was
new
like
roof.
pink on the inside, and I mean that's the one that you used in the intro, right?
I think so.
It was like some pink stuff, and it don't matter. It's just it needed a lot of updates. So
And I feel like to be a great investor, you got to be creative.
I think so, but I think you can kind of learn to be creative.
I mean, you learn. I mean,
Not
through
like-
time. When I say
yeah.
creative, not like
I think-
designer, but you should be able to see a home, like you say, like
Yeah.
that's burnt down, and be like, you know what, this has potential, and how much do I want to invest in it? What's the appropriate amount? And I think that's also I was telling him,
Yeah.
like with investors, I feel like and that's where again, if you don't really know, and that's one reason I became an agent too, because I really wanted to educate myself about the industry, because you want to be able to say, hey, like Katie's a hot area, okay, but it doesn't mean all of Katie. Katie's huge, so don't mean there's some areas that may not just really sell that fast.
Yeah.
But you won't know until you talk to a realtor who can be able to say, okay, I'm looking at. I could pull up the area and see that, hey, these are the amount of homes that sold within the last 3 months, and if I see that they're selling, and I can look at the days on property.
Yeah. Days on market.
Days on market, sorry. And it's like, okay, yeah, they've been selling under 30, 60 days. Yeah, it's a hot market.
Yeah.
You don't get that information.
That's another thing too. We haven't even talked about that. Is days on market. Like
Yeah.
when it comes to flipping a house, if I look look up the comps and the days on market are over 100,
That's so
I
good.
think about walking away. You know, I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and hold this property for 100 days and hope to sell it. Or if you see 2 or 3 and it's like 365 days, that means that property's been listed for a year.
I know, but you can. At what side of the deal are you on?
Like if I'm the investor and I'm going to buy a house and
it's
you
been
know,
on
let's
for
say,
like-
let's say no let's say if I buy in a house
Yeah.
and that the house makes sense numbers wise.
Yeah.
Like I have to wonder, like, why is it for sale and why they want so cheap for it?
Oh,
And then,
okay.
And then
Yeah.
I look on the neighborhood, I look up the comps, and I say, okay, well, here's a house that somebody renovated. Another investor went in, renovated it, and then has it for sale, but it's been listed for 365 days.
Yeah.
You don't want to. No investor wants to hold a house for a year.
Yeah.
And well, to me, it's kind of dumb. Like you probably should have refinanced it and put a renter in it at that point. But
I'm-
for a flip, you want to
Yeah.
you want to sell it in 30 days
Uh,
before your next notice due.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of those houses. If we're talking about a flip house, then
Like a flip house, yeah.
then they can't do conventional.
No, they can't.
yeah.
They can't FHA
So-
it
Yeah.
because
It's
you have to
gonna be
own
on-
it for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But there's other ways to refi a house.
okay, like maybe through hard money or like as far as how.
Mario's done it a bunch
I
of
don't
times.
know. I was like, yeah, but I thought he repaired them and then he refinanced them.
Hey,
Yeah.
I know when
Yeah.
you refi through FHA, he used private money to refi.
I use private.
Yeah.
I use private.
Okay.
Yeah, he used private money to refi.
okay.
So somebody bought his whole
I- you know,
portfolio,
I
right?
think
Or
somebody-
refied the whole
Yeah,
thing?
somebody brought all my properties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody buy all your properties.
They refied the whole thing.
Oh,
as a
you did
as
a
group.
portfolio loan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
As a
okay.
group. As a group. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, my portfolio is looking real nice.
And so what do you have to have a portfolio loan? 2 houses, 3 houses?
If you do 3 at the same time, they'll cut you like a really good deal because they charge like $10,000 for every house.
Okay.
And that's coming out of your
Equity.
Your equity.
That's expensive.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh,
I was
sounds
like,
like a
oh.
lot, man.
But
So-
like you said, it depends on how much equity you
Yeah.
have. So
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you try to FHA refinance a house or Fannie Mae loan or something, you have to own it for what? 2 years? 9 months?
No. It's like I want to say 3 months.
Yeah,
But
3
don't quote
months.
me.
3 months,
Yeah.
90 days,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
I was like, don't quote me, but yeah.
But
that's-
why wouldn't that guy refinance the house? Why would you list it for a whole 365 days? I think that means your end game is short.
'Cause
You
they're-
only
they're
see
married.
one.
They're married to it.
Yeah,
They're like, no,
yeah.
I need to
I
sell.
have
that
to
was,
sell
that was
it.
my purpose.
Yeah, I have to
So-
sell it. So it's
It's-
like they to me it means they bought it wrong. Like you didn't buy it right. If you buy it right, you have many options. If you can't sell it in 90 days, guess what? It's being refied. If you know, and
Yeah.
if the numbers are right, you refi, you
Yeah.
walk away. You either walk away with spend a little bit of money or breaking even, and sometimes you can walk away with money when you refi. So if somebody has a house listed for sale for 365 days,
Yeah.
you need to reevaluate life.
Well, hey, let me ask you.
That's an opportunity though to actually take advantage. I would think, but
Yeah.
I think I
You
agree
could.
with you. Yeah,
I mean,
it's like okay,
but
it's
they're
good.
married to it. She's right.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
can't. They're
Yeah.
not going to take a loss.
You're right.
But
you're
little
right,
by
you're
little, they
right,
will
you're
because
right.
every month they're spending a note.
Yeah.
So
I always look at houses like that keep on coming back on the market, especially when they're like flips, that they have foundation problems. If they keep on coming back on the market, that means that the investor got his contractor in there, and they're like, man, you got like 10,000 repairs. So they keep on during the little period of time that they have to back out, they just back out.
He got some big issues.
Exactly.
Okay.
Let me ask her a question real quick. So like when you finally start investing, what you plan on flipping, or you plan on doing rentals, or you plan on doing both?
Both.
Both. Okay.
Both. I mean, and like you said, it's always about depending on what's the options in front of me. You know, you might say, hey, look, this might be a really great place to rent. You know, I also interested in like doing like Airbnb. You know, like if I feel like this is a good Airbnb area where I can make great profit, then that would be the choice. But it all depends on what's in front of me.
So for the viewers out there, so the people that don't know, can you be a realtor and wholesale at the same time? Can you do that?
Yes, you actually can save yourself money.
Okay.
Because depending on, like, let's say you have a seller, then you can get a buyer's fee.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So
So you get your 3%.
Oh, wow. So you can get 3% and you're getting your wholesale
Yeah,
fee.
depending on whoever you're dealing with. You know, I can sit here and tell somebody, hey, I got a buyer for you. Okay, let's write up a contract.
Yeah.
And it's me.
yep.
And you say you'll pay me if I bring you a buyer. I'm the buyer.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
You
That's
know?
what
She
I
got some
was.
game to her.
You know,
She got a little game in her.
I mean, and that's why some people like, hey, they would like to be, you know,
Yeah.
a realtor. So it's
Yeah.
like you just it's little money, but it's little money that counts. You know, so if that opportunity is able to write out,
Yep. Yep. So I have a relative that has like a flat fee listing service, and there's good and bad things about that. You know, so like from an investor, if you want to list something and you don't want to spend so much money on the realtor side, there's also another catch to that. But like if you're all in on a property and you don't have 3% built in there, or 6% total.
Yeah, if you're a seller,
Yeah.
because you want to
Yeah.
pay your listing agent and the buyer agent.
Yeah.
Who brings a buyer.
So if you don't have that money built in there, you did something wrong, you may want to think about a flat fee listing. But if you're also a seller and you bought a house in the market and somebody knows that market, you may think you can get 150 for the house. The realtor might say, you know what, I think you can get 179. I think you can get 169. I think you can get 159. $9,000 is $9,000, whichever way you look at it. So sometimes hiring a realtor and paying them the fee that they deserve makes you more money. People don't understand that. They don't get that. They're like, oh, I got to pay 6%, and a house is worth 150. The right realtor goes in there and markets the property the right way. Guess what? Instead of selling for 150, I can market it. I can sell it for 159. And if they do a really good job, they may have somebody come in there who pay over asking price for it.
And it's good to have somebody in the middle that looks like, you know, that doesn't look like they have a perceived like investment in there, like a go between, you know,
Yeah.
when you're going between.
And I'm not. I'm a man with no time. I'm not fixing to go show my house
Exactly.
to 6-7 people that are gonna look. They kick the tires around and
Right.
flip on the lights and see
Right.
if the hot water works. That's not my job.
and that's the thing that, like, again, I try to like talk to for sale by owners and look for sale by owners just to kind of
Yeah.
educate, because like you
Yeah.
said, you have to break a lot of things down. You have to look at it as most buyers, especially if you already fixed up the house, so you're looking for a real buyer. At that point, most buyers work with agents, because why? Buyer agents are free for them. So why would I not, not work with an agent? Because now those buyer agents only look on the MLS. They're not driving around looking for signs.
I got a question for you. Do you, like, the people that you're selling the houses to, that you're representing, do you make them sign a contract?
If I like for a buyer,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, representation agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's just for the safety, again, so another agent, they're not working with multiple agents, and I
Okay.
showed you a house, and because this person may say, I give you a cut, things like that, and it's like, I did all the work.
Has that happened to you before?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like I try very well to just build relationships with people. So
Okay.
it's like, and that's the key thing. I feel like even investors, it's like you want to also build a relationship with a realtor. Find somebody that you trust, somebody who knows hey, this is what I'm doing. Even if you have to pay that fee up front, but you show that, hey, this is what I do, then maybe there's always cuts that can be they feel comfortable to work a deal with you because like, hey, you're an investor. We all trying to eat. You're gonna help me and put me on all your projects. Let's work out something, you know. But some people just trying to find those, trying to cut corners, and then before you know it, get mad that the realtors don't do anything. Yeah, they ain't gonna do nothing for a flat fee.
Have you been in a situation? Because I've been in a situation like this. Like, have you had like friends or families that they're trying to sell their house and they hired like another realtor, and then you're like, man, what's going on? Like, I'm a realtor. Like, why you didn't have me?
Yeah, I do, and I get it.
How did you feel when that happened?
That is a good question.
you
I'm like, that's kind of awkward, right?
No,
you just stare at your camera like,
yeah.
Okay,
No
problem. I wish you would.
You know, I could use that $3,000.
Exactly.
Right.
Man, I had a friend. I'm trying to cut you off. But I'm gonna come right back to you. I had a friend that he sold his house. He got it under contract with a realtor, and the investor that she was selling it to was stalling. So he contacted me. He was like, "Hey, look, all I want is $80,000. The house was in Third Ward, so like my antennas went off. I was like, man, I could sell this house for like." And like it was ready to go.
Right.
It was ready to go. All I had to do was just put new appliances.
Yeah.
No, I was just gonna put new appliances.
Okay.
That was it.
Okay.
And I was gonna sell it for like $130. So I was gonna make me a quick $45,000.
About 50 for 130.
Yeah.
80. Yeah. 50K.
Well,
with other expenses.
yeah.
Closing costs. Yeah.
Exactly. So, man, I was so. It's like I was so angry, but I didn't know. Like, I wanted to keep it professional, so I was just like, dude, like
emotional, man.
no, because like he saw.
You always get emotional over properties.
He saw my last flip.
Yeah.
I showed him, and I was like, okay, if you want to go half in the future, because he was trying to get in real estate. And
Yeah.
I don't just tell that to everybody because I thought he was like my friend.
Yeah,
So I was
yeah.
like, dude, like you know I do this. Why you didn't call me up or text me?
Got the emotions, baby.
Man.
Emotions.
And again, you learn that, and that's what they teach you in real estate too. It's like you got to be in people's faces. People are so forgetful.
Yes,
Yeah.
They're
that's
so
true.
forgetful. Like they might know you, but then somebody came, hey, I got money. Like, oh, well, I got something right now that I just got off the phone with.
Yeah.
Do you use social media to promote
I
you
use
being a
those.
realtor?
Yeah, I have a Chika the realtor.
But do you pay like paid ads?
No, I haven't gotten into that yet. But right now, I'm also getting into landing pages and things like that.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to, like, again,
Yeah.
I'm trying to, how would you say, experiment, trying
Gotcha.
to see what works.
Just pay $20, $30.
Yeah, and just to see where how you get the leads.
Are you doing those landing pages yourself? Because I'm kind of interested in that.
Nah.
You got a person that does that?
No. If you go to
What is that? I don't know what that is. Landing
like
pages.
landing pages, like when you have people who are like, hey,
Put your
download
email
my
here.
free ebook.
Yeah, you got to
To
put
get
your
this
email.
ebook. Yeah, put your name and email to get this ebook.
Yeah.
So
So-
now they're getting your
So she
email.
can email her like follow up stuff, like you know.
It's just pulling information.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you
Pulling
go.
possible
Yeah.
There
leads.
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So.
and you hope that with there's different landing pages, they might ask for your name and email. Then they might say, okay, give me your phone number and address or whatever. So from there now, if whatever amount the information you get, you just hope to say, hey, this somebody's interested in learning about
Yep.
a home. So now I can educate.
I think sometimes with realtors, it's hard to break into the market of your friends and family because as a realtor, this is me stepping into your shoes, is like sometimes your closest individuals don't want you to know their personal information. Like they don't want, and I know as a realtor, like you don't really get into all, you don't get into
Yeah.
finance, you don't get into all
Yeah.
that. But some people don't perceive that. They think that, oh well, if I can't get approved for XYZ house, she's gonna know, you know. And it's like this, like I think that's where the block is, especially with us minorities,
Yeah.
is that you know you want to use people that you know because you're helping them. I mean, you're giving them jobs. So it's like, you know, take all that out, take all that personal stuff out. I don't care if you got a 2 credit score. You know, if I'm a realtor, then let me list your house. You know, all I'm doing is listing it. Like,
Right.
I'm not the real,
Even-
you know.
Even if you're looking for a leasing
Yeah.
and you want to stunt on Instagram that you bought a house.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
stunt together.
yeah. We close the
Just
deal.
so.
Yeah,
You know what?
I'm at a closing the title
You
company.
know what? I'm like the opposite though. Like I want to see everybody eat. Like I had a friend that he was a realtor, and this was like my first property that I purchased in 2015, the one that has a mortgage on it. And I was like, okay, well you can represent me. You can make your 3% or whatever. And so I'm calling them like every couple of days, like, hey, look, did that that offer go through, and then he's answering the phone. He's like, hey, "Who's this?" And I was like, "Dude, it's Mario." Like, so like after that, I was just like, "All right, I'm not finna waste my time." Like, I'm putting money in your pocket, and you can't save my number in your phone.
I don't know. I think when you're doing business, man. Like I like to work with the best.
Yeah,
I like to work with the best. But I mean, some things you can pass off to other people, but some things when somebody can lose you like $2,000 or $3,000, that kind of makes you mad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I believe in supporting friends and family.
And you hit the you don't want to you hit it in the nail, huh?
Leave the flakes alone. Go ahead.
Right. No, I mean, and again, like you said, I think a lot of times it's like people want to work with the best. They know that homes are a huge investment, and again, there are some bad deals. Like, and when I say bad deals, that's when they try to sell their home and they can't because you paid premium price, and there's no equity in your home, and now it's because whoever was your buyer agent didn't tell you, oh no, we need to go down on that. Like this area is not selling for $200. We need to get this house for $180, $170.
You emotionally bought.
Yeah, so it's like, and there's some people who would be like, no, I really, really want this home. I'm like, okay, well, just know that you're going to have to live here for a good 10, 15 years. You're not going to see equity anytime soon. So if you're ready to sell, you're not going to get a deal. And then guess what? They go to another seller or another agent and say, hey, I'm ready to sell my home. And then they're like, I want to sell it for $250. It's not going to sell. Well, put it on the market for $250. Okay, it's going to sit on there for 3 months, 6 months.
Just quick note, you're talking about equity. You know how much equity I have in my house I live in right now?
How much?
Like 180.
180?
Yeah. It's like I'm dealing with that sell or stay, sell, stay, sell, stay.
Refinance, buy some property.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
That's what I'm probably gonna do. So
yeah,
but like, and mentally my goal is I just want to pay it off. I think I owe an Escalade on it, so I just pay off this Escalade.
You sleep better at night.
Yeah, but you get
they say let your money.
But everybody who I see who has these big houses, usually they all own some other properties somewhere else. Like. Nobody just forks out $5-6 grand a month for a house.
I think my wife.
Some people do.
I mean, they got it.
Yeah, some people do. Yeah.
I think my wife. She was looking like at all the people that own properties in River Oaks.
Yeah.
And she basically saw that she like Googled all of them.
She really spent some time on this.
Yeah, she really spent some time on it.
I know. Wow.
She said that like 90% of them had their own businesses.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say they were paid off. I was like,
no, or they own properties.
Yeah, or they own
multiple
properties. Yeah, so
that
it's
makes
like
sense.
basically, the point of this podcast is like start your own business. Like
entrepreneurship.
Yeah, it's like these 9-to-5s aren't gonna make you rich.
Well, some will.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some will.
And some
You're
people
a lawyer, doctor.
Some people can use their 9-to-5 to pursue other things.
Catapult the career.
Yeah. There's a lot.
It's a good start.
Yeah, there's a lot of lawyers, doctors, and dentists out there that have property.
Yeah, that's true.
What's the end game for you? Like, what do you envision? What keeps you going? Like, what do you like? What's your chief aim?
I mean, like I said, being an agent is just me learning. Just kind of getting my feet wet. But investing in owning property and
there you go.
Building a portfolio because
passive income.
Real estate is wealth.
Yeah,
it is wealth. And I would on Netflix watch Explained. It's called Explained. It has like different topics. Like they talk about Bitcoin. They talk about they talk about monogamy.
I'm gonna watch that tonight.
No, and they're really short episodes. Like I want to say like 20-25 minutes. Like really short. And they talk about real estate, especially in they're saying like with the African American community and things like that. And then the laws that we have to learn like redlining and things where it came from is because of the fact of realtors and bankers were being discriminative. I can't even say the word discriminatory. Right?
Discriminative.
Oh, Lord.
I think.
Look. So at that point, you look at it as like, okay, hey, a lot of these, like you said, these big homes that are like 500, 600K, a lot of these homes are passed down.
Exactly.
They don't bought it like that. That's just the value.
Yeah.
But it's passed down to other people. Like, oh, this is my other dad's house or whatever, or he bought this property that was a rental like a long time ago. Now it became like the up and coming area.
That's what happened to Katie, right? They had a family that owned that entire area, and they sold out.
Generational wealth.
Yeah, exactly.
Generational wealth.
And that's my goal. I feel like it's like I preach this to everybody, even my brothers. I have a brother who's an engineer and another one's a teacher. I'm like, look, get property. Stop trying to rent.
Yeah.
Even I get it as a young man. You might want to rent, but it's like also just get property. Start off with that. Hopefully get rental property, so then you have something to pass down. Because I think a lot of people want to get rich now, and then have nothing to pass down later.
Well, what have you learned from your father? Like he has a couple of rentals.
He has a couple of renters. I mean, he does his own way.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
everywhere I'm gonna
Yeah,
copy.
yeah.
But one thing I know is he worked hard. You know, he's a correction officer, so he's not somebody
Oh,
rich.
wow.
My mom's a teacher.
Impressive.
Right.
Yeah, all right.
And we own like what, 5, 6 properties.
Six
So,
properties?
Yeah.
Nice.
So at that point, you're like, okay, anybody. You don't need to be a doctor, lawyer to say,
Yeah.
hey, I need to. And like one of the homes is one of the homes that we used to live in.
Yep.
It's like you pay that kind of off. We moved. I think we probably moved like maybe 15 years into it. Moved to another home. He probably paid that off. Now it's
Yeah.
like, okay, that's full. And then
Yeah.
you know, and we hope and pray that
Yeah.
hey, if you know you pass away, now you have something that you can say, hey, this goes
Or
to my
rainy days. I'm
Rainy
telling you,
day-
rainy
yeah,
days.
or rainy
Guess what?
days.
I gotta sell it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, somebody gets sick and needs some treatment or something. Hey, sell the house.
But he's also the stubborn, you know, he likes to cut costs too. He's
Yeah.
stubborn. I want to do everything. I want to paint. I want to fix. I want to be.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like, look, you're getting too grown.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah.
can't. You're not making money. You're not doing it fast enough. If it takes you almost a month because you have another job, and
Exactly.
you have to ask yourself, is it worth that type of headache? Sometimes just chunk up that little money. And
So I
get
told
the ball
Mario.
rolling.
I was just about to say that.
Mario.
I just want to say like I just about to say that Ron tells me that all the
Yeah,
time
I'm
because
try-
I
I'm
paint
yeah.
I paint my own houses.
I'm trying to get him away from that. You're
You'd be looking
You're
for
wasting
deals,
your time.
right?
Yeah, you need to, like-
it's not the best
Yeah.
use of your time.
like you can't do the work yourself. You got to let somebody else go and do it because you
Especially somebody can
don't-
do it better,
yeah,
right?
Don't you? Yeah,
They do
Don't
it all
you-
day.
Yeah, don't you want to like have 5 deals going at the same time?
Yeah.
No, I do. No, I mean,
That's the hardest part though for anybody
Well,
in
I mean,
any
and
business.
don't get into. I feel like you're like he said because one thing we talked about that too,
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
like he's still young.
Mhm.
That is your full time job. This ain't your
Yeah,
part time.
true.
So you shouldn't
Yeah.
be just sitting here waiting, looking at people. Oh, I'm just walking in just to look
Yeah,
at people.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
if you can help out instead of paying for 5 hours for painters, I can get you for 2 hours because
Yeah.
I'm helping you
Yeah.
knock out some of these rooms.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's do that. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, like when I first started out, you have to understand. Like my mentor, he was like he did all the work himself. I mean,
Wrong.
he took a long
Yeah.
time.
And he still does all the work himself.
Yeah, he still does all the work himself. But I mean, but that's the mind frame that I had. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna learn how to paint. I'm gonna learn how to do tile. I'm gonna learn how to put down laminate. I'm gonna learn how to.
Yeah.
You know what I get from that is like, and this is just again my opinion. It's not worth 2 cents. When I walk into a house and I see where somebody's done it themselves,
I can
see
tell,
imperfections.
yes.
I'm like, bro, what
Like you see
what
this
is
big
this?
gap in
What is
the
that?
tile or something.
Yeah, if
like,
I'm a
what?
realtor, I can't get top dollar for this because
Yeah.
it looks like a beginner did it. So
Okay.
that's what
Somebody
I say,
does
man.
it every day.
Get the tile
Yeah.
guys, get the painter guys, and make it your full time business to go find deals. Like period. This is my contractor. This is my realtor. I'm out here looking for deals. I'm funding this, funding that, getting that done, getting that done. And you don't necessarily have to use a contractor. You can be the contractor, but you don't want to be the one doing the painting. You don't want to be the one, laying the tile down because there's 3 days right there. You could have been doing something else that has to do with your business. Something else that helps your business grow dramatically rather than just micromanaging a property.
Okay.
This is my advice, it's opinion.
Yeah, I
So-
agree. And in no way.
And it's hard to do that.
I
Yeah.
think what he did is that he understand. He was in the learning phase of like understanding the or early. I mean, you're still doing
Rehab,
it now,
yeah.
but but he was just understanding the rehab process and how
Yeah.
long it was going to
Yeah.
take. And oh man, this is an easy job. Why are you taking this
Yeah.
amount of time
Yeah.
and doing it?
Yeah.
You know, I used to work on my own car. I don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And
Me
now
too.
when some people like $1,200 for brakes, I'm like, I used
Yeah,
to do
dude,
it.
that's
Yeah.
a $200 job.
Yeah,
What do you
like,
mean?
come on,
Yeah.
man. Yeah. So I kind of understand that he has the value of time and money. You know,
That's true too.
So-
That's true. I didn't take
But-
into consideration. I'm sorry, Mario. but he jumped all over you.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Right.
I was
jumped all
playing
over
devil
you.
advocate
Yeah.
because I told him the same thing. Like, dude, you're wasting your time. You finding deals. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, but you have to know the process. You got to know that it takes X, Y, Z.
No, I
time.
know
Yeah.
how long everything's supposed to take. So
Now you do.
Yeah, well now I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's also with real estate agents too. That's one thing I'm learning is like you can't do everything yourself. That's the reason why there's teams. Because I get that. Because sometimes it takes only one person can probably do the lead generations and doing all the calling, and then this person could be the one who just shows all the homes, and then this person could be the one who's actually closing the deals as they're being closed. Because when you try to do everything, you're only limiting yourself to how many closures you can do by yourself.
Yep.
You're always limited. So, and
How does that work out? It's like y'all do that at your.
I mean, I don't work for a team, but I know
Oh,
there's
okay.
teams, but there's teams out there.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
it's like again, like how
That
Mario's
sounds pretty efficient. I was like,
yeah, because
where
you
is
have
this
to.
at?
I mean, but the only thing is,
Yeah.
I'm also learning. Like, I was like, okay, I'm like, how do I have time to sit here and go on Facebook, social media, sit here and network, call people, nurture?
Somebody does that.
Yeah,
right.
there's people who just do that. Like, if I
Uh-huh.
really wanted to say, hey, I'm gonna build a team, or let me work with other agents and say, hey,
Yeah.
look, you do this, I'll help with this, or I don't mind showing homes and I got a little
Yeah.
a car that's good on gas. Let me ride around Houston and help you
Yeah.
with that. That's how teams start forming. And I feel like those are the ones who are like the major producers who are like, oh, we sold 300 homes, this year. You can't do that by yourself.
No.
There's just no way.
Yeah,
like,
no time.
We'll love to do it by yourself, but sometimes that's also going to split costs. So you have to ask yourself, if I do this by myself and only sell 10 homes by myself, this is how much I can make. But if I work with a team, I could do 200 something homes and maybe make even more, even though it cuts in a discount, but
Yeah.
I'm really making more.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing I feel like with investments. I feel like, oh, what do I need to let go and
Yeah.
let other people do? And then just kind of write it out as a plan to see, okay, how much money would I make if I just had everybody do it?
That's
or
right.
if I just do this
That's
and
right.
that. So
And numbers. Yeah.
numbers.
Numbers.
on
Numbers. Yeah.
I was gonna ask about people skills. Like, I think that in this day and age, it's so crucial. I think like if you're like raising kids, not having them like scared to talk to people, but dealing with people is so important. Can you tell me like
I feel like well in the industry or as
anything?
entrepreneurs.
I think
as an
almost
entrepreneur.
every business that you're in, except for like maybe being a doctor, you have to be like on your P's and Q's, because you could be a bad doctor, have no people skills, and still people come back and see you.
Right.
So,
and it depends because again, if you're not having people skills, that means you're not really explaining things well. If you're not explaining things well,
not
people
articulate.
yeah, then that means people gonna eat something that they didn't need to eat before surgery, and then that's lawsuits. And
Well, I don't know. I just see like, as far as that, I'm in the medical field, and I see that
Yeah.
a lot of doctors, they get away with a lot of stuff
Yeah.
because they're great doctors, but they won't look you in the eye when they're
Yeah,
seeing
yeah,
you. But but as far as like, I know that when I'm in certain areas, or like if you're in certain areas, you talk the same lingo. Like, if you can't talk the same way.
with your friends.
No, well, it depends on what areas you're in. Like,
Okay.
you got to be able to talk the same lingo. And I'm not talking about change your voice. I'm just
Yeah.
talking about like talk the same lingo.
Okay.
Like if you're in a
Talk
certain
like
area in
this.
real estate.
Okay.
In real estate, yeah.
Okay.
Like when you were
Okay.
talking to Mario, you were like,
You talk one way.
yeah. When you talking to the lady in River Oaks, you talking another way.
Right.
You talking a little bit with your back straight. And
I will say this: it's
Yeah.
finding that person's interest.
yeah.
You don't want to prejudge people because you're in River Oaks, that means you're stuck up and no, maybe somebody who
Yeah.
are just laid back and it's like, oh, I love music. Oh, me too. And now I found
Yeah.
something that's a bond, and I feel like that's the hard part that people don't know how to dig and find that connection. And again, like for us to talk 2 hours and get into the podcast and call me Skitzo, it took a lot of just talking.
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause I
yeah.
could have just been like, oh
It's
yeah,
it's
I'm
adapting.
a realtor.
It's
Yeah,
adapting.
It's adapting to the
Yeah.
area, looking around, saying, hey, this is what I do. Just talking about yourself. Hopefully, maybe something about you
Yep.
will attract them.
Yep. I
But-
do it all the time in sales.
Yeah.
Like I'll run up to somebody who's like this real kind of tough, kind of like there's no small talk, right? And so I just do the same thing they do. I say, here's your price, take it or leave it. Have a good day.
I do
Do the same thing.
If
And then-
somebody doesn't want to talk, I'm
Yeah.
not like trying to pull teeth or
Yeah.
like, how was your day?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
mirror, like
Yeah.
they call it mirroring.
Yeah.
So
But like you said, it's all about like, okay, are you here just to talk about numbers and facts, and that's what
Here
you
it
want from
is.
me? Then here, I'll
Yeah.
give that to you.
See you later.
If you're looking for a friend that you feel comfortable with because you're going to enter homes, and
I'll be that
I
too.
want to feel safe. I'll be that. But it's like you said, it's just being able to read that.
you got to
person.
feel people,
right.
their
Feel
vibes.
people.
You
That's
can't
part of
be-
selling. That's
you
part of
can't-
selling.
Yeah.
And I think another important thing I've learned, and that's through other businesses, is that just be yourself still. Because
Exactly,
if
yep.
they don't want to work with you, then that's okay. You're not going. Not everybody's not going to want to,
Yep.
work with you or be with you for whatever reasons. It may not be for your color. It could be, oh, I'm a female, or
Yeah.
oh, you're like, oh, you only got 2 degrees. Oh, well, I don't think you're smart enough, or you only been here for 2 years. Not,
You
know,
never
not
know.
experiment. Yeah.
You never know what's going through somebody's head. They might be working with somebody else. They might have a bad day. But yeah.
Yeah.
Has anybody tried to like to talk to you?
That's right.
Like, have they tried to like to pursue you and then try to use like you as being a realtor, like as like smoke, like
Mario, don't be giving predators ideas.
Pursue you.
Has anybody
use
ever
you-
called you up?
to use
no,
you for
it's
your
it's
realtor.
actually a good question because
It is.
a
No,
lot of
I-
people.
that's something I
know
wanna
your
know.
parents probably worry about that, like going in
Exactly.
Oh,
because I have a
open
friend. She's a
houses.
realtor and she That was one of the concerns.
thought
Like
never
people
do-
would call her up just to like.
Do you have that? Do you have mace and a gun like on standby?
Oh
That
man,
thought never-
that's a little personal.
That never crossed my
Yeah.
mind.
I mean,
No, but yeah, they'll like if they like you, they'll call you up and just make.
You wanna be
I'll
my-
buy a house. Let's.
You want to be my girlfriend, so you got to get the 3%
Yeah,
off.
get 3%.
I mean, but I feel like again, it's all about professionalism too. So
Yeah.
it's like, guess what? Before I even talk to anybody who wants to even buy a house, guess what? You need to talk to a loan officer. Have you got?
Approved, yeah.
anything
You got
approved?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
That means you need to go through a lot of hoops.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before you, yeah,
Before
Here's
we have a real
yeah,
conversation.
A real
yeah.
conversation.
Here's this
Yeah.
representation agreement.
Right, right.
Representation agreement.
Like let's sign things. Let me see how serious you are.
That's
like,
a good point.
Okay.
Two, the only safety I think that some, especially female realtors, may have is like open houses. But
Yeah.
when I have an open house, I leave all doors open.
They got those.
Um,
Go ahead.
Yeah, I leave doors open. When somebody comes in, I always give people space. I'm not really, I
Mm.
try not to be
Yeah.
in the same room with people. I let people just kind of, okay, how do you like the room? If they have a question, I'm always by the door.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of being conscious. And I mean, things may happen. I always pray. I pray before
no,
in any
yeah.
situation, but I try to put myself in a good place to where I can escape.
They
if
got a
need be.
realtor apps that you can just press and then police come in like 2 minutes.
Oh, really?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
They should, right?
So-
but the funny
I'm
thing-
sure they do got something like that
no,
though.
But, because the
They
iPhone
get-
10, they have the
They
SOS
got an app
thing.
for everything,
Yeah.
so I know they got
No,
one.
not even
so.
an app. It's on the phone. Like, you
Oh,
know,
really?
Like, you know how you try to turn it off?
Yeah.
Let me see. I don't even know if I can do it's the same
Oh,
thing.
don't
But
s-
if you turn it,
yeah.
look.
They're gonna be coming up here.
So where can people find you?
Yeah.
On- so
You do it.
Instagram?
It's emergency SOS.
Oh
okay.
yeah.
So
We're getting
Yeah.
close to wrapping up here.
Okay, cool.
What so you're on Instagram?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram.
Oh no, we good.
Okay.
Uh,
Go ahead.
Y'all still want to close it
Oh.
up?
No.
We got
I-
8 minutes. We got 8 minutes
he's-
till 2 hours.
Okay.
He's keeping time, so I'm.
Yeah.
You sure?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Go
yeah,
ahead.
we
I
good.
thought it was 2 to 4.
No, it is, but we didn't start till.
All right.
Well, go ahead. Plug yourself in.
Because I got
Don't
a
worry
lot of
about
plugs.
Josh.
Yeah.
But as
Excuse me.
real estate, Chika the realtor, Chika. Everybody loves my name because it's really simple. It's also Nigerian. That means God is great.
Okay.
Also, if you want to have a little humor, Chika, call me Skitzo.
Call me
And that's
Skitzo.
Skitzo. And then for graphics, One Way Media.
Okay.
You know.
Nice.
Oh, please upload this to your YouTube,
Of
your
course.
Instagram.
Well, I wouldn't do it. I think we would share because I think that's the best way to do it.
Do you do
Okay.
do you do
You can share.
collaborations on your skits?
Yeah, I do a lot of collaborations.
Oh, yeah? I got a guy-
I
I got a
worked with-
guy.
yeah, I worked with a lot of few,
I got a
big
guy
name.
I could recommend too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's people like and networking. I think y'all talked about that too. Networking is important, and
It
that's
is.
if anybody wants to know how to build, their social media. I feel like the best thing I've done was sharing, like collaborating with other people.
How do you feel about like the whole like no new friends? How do you feel about that?
You can't survive with no new friends. You need new friends. I know for me, I sometimes like to be to myself, but that's not efficient and it's not effective.
Exactly. Okay.
So, but
Excellent.
yeah,
That's a
I'm
good
done.
point.
Yeah,
That's a lot of knowledge.
but I'm happy for y'all. You guys having me. I do. I have fun.
No problem.
Awesome.
I was
Awesome.
trying to have you
Oh.
last week, but
You know.
yeah.
Hope
What-
I
do you
thought-
wanna
am
come
I-
back? You wanna
am
come
I-
back later
Am I
and
your
talk-
first female?
No.
No, You're our second.
Second.
You're
Third.
so-
Third.
Third. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So-
hold on. Am I your first Nigerian female?
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah.
You're our first professional.
All right,
So,
that's all that
Yeah.
matters.
But maybe you can come back and talk more real estate.
oh,
Please,
Yeah.
please.
Like as I'm
Yeah.
learning, y'all learning. We all.
Yeah, cool.
I would love to be back.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
Think that's gonna wrap
Yeah,
it up
yeah,
today.
close.
That's
right
a
there.
wrap.
Yeah.
Mario, where
So-
can we find you?
Yep.
Real estate guru PK, Instagram Real estate guru PK, YouTube Real estate guru K, Twitter, and I think I'm landlord PK on Facebook. They didn't let me do real estate guru PK.
So
Same
So
here.
real estate guru PK, subscribe it, hit the like button.
oh, let me shout out. I got 100 and I think 65 the last time I checked.
Oh, okay.
Subscribers.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Numbers ain't nothing like
I ain't nothing like
250,000.
man. She doing it big over
I've been
here.
doing it for a while, so it'll take through
Good.
time.
Keep
time.
it up.
Yeah.
Keep
Thank
it
you,
up.
thank
Keep it up. All right, let's wrap it
All
up.
right.
See
Like
y'all
and
guys next week.
subscribe.